there was an idea to bring together a remarkable number of people so that I don't remember the rest of it. Anyway,
You messed up the second line. It's like, there was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. I'm like, really? A remarkable number?
to bring together a remarkable number of people, 42. That's
Alright,
quite a number.
welcome back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Joe. Have a
Hey.
good one.
Have a good one. Yes, as you probably might possibly know by now, I am Samuel, and this is Chris. This
Yes,
is
I'm back.
yes, he is
Even
back.
though we filmed them all in one night, so technically I never left.
Yeah, technically none of us ever left, except for that time when I accidentally ended the call instead of hitting stop record. But regardless,
We're back.
got
Phase
back,
3.
yeah. Phase 3 MCU movies tier list. Let's go.
Who's first?
First one is Captain America Civil War.
I've thrown this one in pretty good, I think. Let me check.
Pretty good.
Yes, it is the second film in Pretty Good. Pretty Good has 3 films, Iron Man being the bottom, Civil War being the middle.
Dang, okay. Wow. That is way lower than I put it. I put it like mid S tier.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's actually the highest.
How many people remember that the main plot of this film is that Bucky is trying to stop more Winter Soldiers from coming?
I mean, see, here's the thing: is that the main plot, or is that just the B plot?
It's what's the whole thing driving Bucky and Cap's actions? They're trying to stop more Winter Soldiers.
I mean, it's Bucky's intention from the beginning. Cap, like, I think it's like, well, I mean, it's not like that's the reason he.
No, he's doing it
rebelled.
to help his friend.
Yeah.
But still, like, the fact that that's even a plot is, like, insane, because you can forget about it so quickly.
I mean,
And then there's,
I think it's
Zemo's
mostly.
whole thing.
Pardon?
Then there's Zemo's whole thing.
Zemo's whole thing. Wait.
You know, he's trying to manipulate
Oh,
the Avengers to kill him.
Far out. I was thinking Arnim Zola, and I was like, wait,
No, he dead. Adam Zola's dead.
he is dead. Zemo! He is actually another excellent villain.
I think he's better in Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Isn't that one he's more of an anti-hero?
Yeah, exactly. He's a lot better. He's funny, but he's still ruthless. Like
I'm
the first,
just-
like the second that the heroes are found in that show, and he has to kill. And there's a guy who can make super soldiers. So the first chance he get, he bloody caps him in the head. He's like, nah, that's it. Like first chance he get, he kills him.
Oh.
No, not even a second thought. Like he sees the super soldier serum on the floor, like tons of vials. Not like tons, but like 5, I think. And he doesn't stop and look at them and go, oh, I can become a super soldier. No, he instantly destroys all of them. The only reason he misses one is because it wasn't grouped up with the other ones.
Oh.
Like it rolled a bit further, so he didn't see it.
Hmm.
But like essentially his whole motive in that show is to, the only reason he helps the main heroes is like, I want to stop super soldiers. I don't think it's a good idea for them to exist. And every movie he makes, he does that.
Huh. The only 2 things I actually know about Zemo in that show is the whole, like, he's out of line but he's right meme.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
also that scene where apparently he's, like, dancing and, like, snapping his fingers, and it gives me real Bully Maguire vibes.
He looks really awkward. Yeah, I think they're trying to go undercover in a club, and he looks like. Anyway, but like, yeah, Zemo's a lot better in that film. This one, I'd say, like, it's an introduction, but I'd still say he's not as good.
Well, I mean, okay. As far as, like, villains, like, would you say that he's a villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No, he's an anti-hero. He's definitely an anti.
Right.
Because he's not opposed. Because a villain or an antagonist is more opposing the heroes. He's not really opposing them. He's helping them. But like for his own means, he's helping the good guys for selfish reasons. Anti-hero.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Whereas in this one, he is a straight villain.
Yeah, he's a straight villain. I'd say this film, if they went back and remade this, I'd say cut out the Zemo things and cut out the whole Winter Soldier stuff and just leave them, and then make the antagonist of the film Stark. You don't need Zemo, you don't need the Winter Soldiers. Make just the antagonist Stark.
But Zemo is like, he's an excellent villain in this one. It's like his motives are like they're understandable. He's like
yeah, but
almost
still like
sympathetic. He's got very interesting he has a very interesting goal. It's like, I mean, not so much goal, but like how he goes about trying to achieve it.
true, but I still think that the main reason people watch this film is to watch Stark and Cap hit each other, like that whole conflict. Like Zemo, the other Winter Soldiers, that's like such a minor thing that like I bet a lot of people forget about that, and they more remember that airport fight scene because and Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. Spider-Man's in this movie, and Black Panther.
I mean, yeah. Oh, well, this was his introduction, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he's really good. Rip Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, always Rip.
But like, yeah, he actually voices Black Panther in the What If episode.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's
it was
his
like they
final
managed
performance
to...
Black Panther.
Oh my gosh, Chadwick as Black Widow.
What if?
What if? That should have been the what if.
Yeah,
what if T'Challa was Black Widow?
Yeah, but essentially T'Challa is he voices his own character in that. That's his last Black Panther performance.
Oh, well, at least he was able to do that.
Yeah, and but anyway, I still think Civil War it's pretty good, but I wouldn't say it's amazing because a lot of the other ones that are amazing, they're great all the way through. This one is like the airport fight scene, Spider-Man stuff, and that whole ending fight scene, and like
that's like a very good one. Like not even so much through like, you know, like the set piece, but it's just a very emotional moment.
True. I do love the shot they did where like how they lined up the shot for that classic Civil War image. Like,
yeah,
that's very clever how they did that.
It is. Oh, you know what? That last fight is excellent. Also,
do you think Cap should have died? Because I know he dies in the comics, but do you think he should have died in this one?
Because that's an interesting question.
Because then you could because I know a popular theory back when this film was going to come out was that he's going to die in this film, and then in Infinity War they're going to resurrect him, and then he's going to pick up Mjolnir.
You know what? I feel like it probably would have been better for him to not die. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's great that he did.
Yeah, like if they were planning on using him for like Infinity War and End Game, which obviously they were, I feel like it would be better off if they didn't kill him and then bring him back because, you know, kind of negates the effects of death.
True, but then again, yeah, these are comics films.
I mean, well, yeah, they're comics films, but it's like, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't improve them. I reckon this movie actually improves the comic Civil War.
I still think, I mean, Thunderbolt Ross is pretty savage because he's like, these are the reasons we need the Sokovia Accords. New York. Those were aliens invaded. That wasn't our fault. We in fact stopped that. DC, that was your fault. Like, the government was invaded by Nazis, and you're blaming us for that shit? Sokovia. Okay, that one's on us.
Yeah.
Like, Sokovia is the only real big thing.
And Sokovia may have been the worst one out of all of them.
Okay. Yes. But, like, Sokovia is the only thing you can blame the Avengers on. New York was not the Avengers' fault. That was Loki. That was going to happen regardless.
Yeah, exactly. And then...
Winter Soldier, the DC stuff. That's 100% your fault right there.
That is,
let Nazis invade you. That's like 100% you guys.
You let Marvel Nazis invade you guys.
Like, if it wasn't for us, you might be dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't even us. It's more like Black Widow, Falcon, and like Cap.
I will say, actually, I think one of my... I actually really love all the scenes where the characters just like talk with each other.
Yeah.
Like that that big circle meeting that the Avengers have, and they kind of all explain why they pick the sides that they pick. I really like that one.
Yeah, so I'm keeping this in pretty good because it's got a lot of good stuff, but I think as an overall package, stories, like I said, the Zemo stuff and the other Winter Soldier stuff, you could pretty much flat out ignore, and you still get the enjoyable parts that many people do enjoy.
I will say, actually, this is kind of just another, like, neat pick. But, like, just before the airport scene, it's like, there's the bit where it's like, Tony kind of shows off his team, and Cap's just like, you've been busy. And it's like, he says it in, like, kind of a jokey way. It's like, oh, are we gonna get some, like, Marvel banter? And then Tony's immediately just like, and you've been a complete idiot. And it's like, oh, okay, no, he's taking this very seriously. This is
Also,
unusual for Tony.
did you know that, okay, in Infinity War, do you know that scene where Tom Holland's, like, hair's raised because that's his Spidey sense?
Yes.
Okay, many people said, apparently many people have said that's the first depiction of the Spidey sense in the MCU films. That's a straight up lie. Because in Civil War, Bucky throws something at him, and you can see the eyes of the suit enlarge, and he goes, oh shit, and he ducks.
Oh.
Like, it happens really quickly. I didn't notice it until I rewatched the scene. Like, someone pointed it out, and then I rewatched the scene, I'm like, oh my god, they're right. Like, it happens so quickly, you don't even notice it.
I suppose. However, it could be that, like, when people say it's the first time the spider sense has been shown, like, the first time that it's been shown, like, explicitly.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I
like
don't
I said,
remember I don't remember the specific point that you're talking about where
I'll show you
Spidey's
later.
like, oh shit and that. But it's like, I feel as though, like, the casual observer might possibly be able to see that as just being like, I don't know, maybe he just, like, saw it or heard it or something like that.
Yeah.
Not he used his precognitive abilities to detect it.
Yeah, like I guess like it's easy to see it in Infinity War, but like it's apparent the first time it does happen is in Civil War.
Interesting.
All right, so I'm saying I'm putting it in B tier.
I'm putting it in S tier.
All right, what's the next film?
Next one is Doctor Strange.
I've put this above Ant-Man in average.
Okay, I've actually put this in the bottom of Amazing.
Doctor Strange, one of the most forgettable villains next to Malekith.
If you're talking about Caecilius, yeah.
Didn't even know his name. I think I know the actor's name's Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh yeah, didn't he play like Hannibal at some point? I feel like he's played Hannibal Lecter at some point.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it is Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah, he did actually.
He did.
He did. But
yeah.
no.
Okay. So the villains, I would say, the weakest part of the movie.
I think the best thing is the relationship between Strange and Wong.
Oh, I was gonna say Strange and Mordo.
I mean, that's okay, but everyone wants more Wong.
Just because he's kept showing up.
Exactly. Like, I know what's his name again?
Baron Mordo.
Mordo. Yeah, I was gonna say Mordow. I'm like, that's a game, I think. Mordo. Yeah, he goes rogue in the end credit scene. He actually takes away the guy who uses magic to keep himself walking. He actually takes away the magic from him.
I think, like, obviously I can't judge until I see him as a villain, but it's like, they've set him up to be an excellent villain.
I mean, yeah, that's what they're setting him up to be, but, like, I still think the Wong and Strange relationship is a lot better.
Doctor Strange himself, I would say, is an extremely strong character.
True.
Some say that he's just, like, magic Iron Man, but, I mean, they definitely have their similarities. They both played Sherlock.
He pretty much is magic Iron Man.
But, like, he's still, like, extremely good. I feel as though the two of them are, like, their journeys are still different enough.
Yeah.
That, like, you can't say they're the same.
I think Strange is really hitting his strides in Infinity War. he'll definitely hit it in Far From Home. Because I think in this first
Wait,
film,
you mean No Way Home?
yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
No Way Home, sorry. But like,
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be more like a Black Widow character, where I think Black Widow, I'm not sure if she's really great in her film, but like the idea is that she works better as a side character.
Well,
I think Strange will work better as a side character. I think Multiverse of Madness will be the film where I'm like, yeah, he works on his own. Because as a side character, he's really good. He'll be really good, I think, in
I would say Doctor Strange and Spider-Man is a pretty weird crossover.
I mean,
Interesting.
I mean, it makes sense. It feels kind of interesting that in No Way Home they did the big reveal of Peter Parker as Spider-Man in Far From Home, sorry. And then they're instantly gonna retcon it with Strange's magic. So I'm interested to see if they're gonna go through with that, where by the end of the film, everybody forgets he's Spider-Man.
I will say, kind of sort of bummed out by that, because it seems as though they're going to try and immediately erase that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna be the main crux of the film, is that Peter messed up the spell and now he has to deal with all the weird multiverse stuff that happened because of that.
Uh-oh, you just summoned Galactus.
I mean, yeah, that's why there's like that Green Goblin grenade, and then there's like Dr. Octopus, because I'm like, up until now, they've not even been introduced. So like,
Yeah, which is actually very weird.
yeah, like, I mean, it's not weird, because
Usually
like,
it's like, at least one of them gets introduced as like, one of the first villains
yeah,
Spidey
I mean, and
fights.
also it seems in the new Spider-Man films, they're trying to do more the villains that usually aren't shown, like Vulture, Mysterio, I mean, Shocker's in Homecoming. But like the idea is they're trying to do the Spider-Man villains which you don't see a lot of. Like you see, like when you think Spider-Man villains, you think Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus. You don't usually think
Venom.
Yeah, Venom's definitely a big one. You don't usually think Mysterio or Vulture. I mean,
Yeah,
you think Mysterio before Vulture, but you would never think Vulture in the first place.
yeah.
And they made him interesting. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get to that when we get to Homecoming.
Yeah,
So
wait, there was something else I was going to say about Doctor Strange. What was it? Oh yeah, I've come to bargain.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just
Your
put a meme.
mammal, I've come to bargain.
Mamu, I have come to bargain.
Yeah, it introduces the Time Stone.
Introduces the Time Stone, yeah. Introduces the Ancient One, who comes back one more time because
Yeah,
she
but-
dies.
Yeah, I was gonna say time travel shenanigans. She dead in that film.
Yeah, I mean, eventually she is anyway. Yeah, I actually really like Doctor Strange. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm a
he's
big
your
fan
favorite.
of Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'd say he's definitely at least one of my favorites in the comics, because always liked that magic type of stuff. But still, I reckon it's a very well done movie, very good movie. I'd say it's one of the best, like, I guess, introductory movies for a character.
Yeah, I think every character really. No, I think Homecoming is the best Homecoming and Guardians are the two best introductory films.
Well,
if you're not including Homecoming, because Spider-Man's been introduced tons of times, I'd say Guardians is the best introduction film we have.
Oh, I'd agree with that as well.
Guardians is the best one.
Yeah. But Doctor Strange is still very high up for me. So yeah, amazing tier for me. Bottom of amazing tier for me. And where'd you put it?
Middle of average.
Middle of average. Okay.
Alright,
Next
what's
up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I've put this in pretty good.
Okay.
I don't think it's as good as the first one. It is really good. The music is all there.
Yeah, yeah.
The story is quite good. But once again, I think I had some things going on in my life at the time, so I think I was a bit more emotional than I should have been when watching this film. But I'm going to put it in amazing, purely because as much as I love Ego, I don't really love him. Because, I don't know, I do agree, the CGI, or the backgrounds, it's just like, eh.
Oh, you're talking about like in the final act?
No, the whole
Oh,
when
really?
they get to Ego, and it's just like a lot of like, I think my brain finally went, like, my brain could tell how fake it was, and I'm like, usually that's okay, but like but I'm like, this is just too fake for me even.
Oh, I see. I put Guardians 2 in the top of pretty good.
I mean, it is my top of pretty good. I've got 3 in pretty good. Guardians is the top.
Yeah. What is it? I've got, I think, 6 in pretty good as well, and Guardians 2 is at the top of that. What was it? I reckon Ego is one of the better villains.
Yeah, he's definitely a better villain. I'm talking about like the
appearance.
Not him. I'm talking like the CGI backgrounds. I'm just like, my brain was like doing like some
Fair enough.
like some Twilight Zone stuff where I'm like, I can tell this is fake and it's annoying me a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, I think Guardians 2 was definitely the most bombastic with its CGI.
It was, but like, it's still a good film. I'd still say it is above a lot of the other Marvel films. Hence why it is the top of pretty good.
I actually reckon a really underrated moment in that movie is the conversation that Drax and Mantis have, where they're just kind of sitting and like watching the sun and that.
Yeah,
like,
and then she puts her hand on him and she starts crying.
Yeah, and it's like Drax is just not showing any emotions. Like, you really see just how far Drax is actually burying his trauma.
Yeah. Or maybe
Also,
it's because his trauma isn't moving, it's invisible.
Exactly. It's just so still that it's completely invisible. Also, this was the movie where Drax became comic relief, actually.
Was he not comic relief in the first one?
I feel as though it was more like... It wasn't quite as overt. Like, I think in a way, Guardians 1, it was like kind of everyone was
had a bit of
relief at some point.
But
like,
Guardians 2 is definitely like, yeah, Drax is a lot more comedic.
Yeah, much more. Yeah, it's like, what is it?
Your deepest, darkest secrets to everybody. Do me.
It's like, isn't it like the very first line he has in the movie is something like, I have sensitive nipples.
Yes, it is. It is, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drax has become comedic relief.
Yeah, and it seems like he's gonna stay that way now.
Top of pretty good. Amazing soundtrack.
Excellent soundtrack, yeah.
It has some great scenes in it. I just think...
Actually, the Yondu rocket argument as well is really good.
Oh, yeah, the whole Yondu everything is
actually,
really...
yeah, everything about Yondu is great in this movie.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Yeah, the whole Yondu... I think the film ends... the way it ends is a really somber ending. It ends on Rocket crying.
Yeah!
At Yondu's funeral.
Yeah! That was actually very... Yeah. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, I still think it's a pretty good film. I do prefer everything else above it, but like I still think I would watch it more. Like everything in pretty good, I think Guardians 2 is the thing I'd watch the most. If anything, this is the only one I'm willing to bump up a tier. But like I'm gonna keep it in pretty good because like I still love the other ones better.
Fair enough.
Alright,
fair enough.
What's next?
Next is Spider-Man Homecoming.
S tier.
Wow, S tier, really?
One of my favorite. I think it's one of the best Spider-Man films. Like, I get all the Tobey ones are classic. You love the Garfield ones for some reason.
No. I don't love the Garfield ones. I think that Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man, but his movies are definitely the worst, unfortunately. Actually, if we're just talking live action movies, I'd probably say this is the best, actually.
Yes. This Spider-Man does the most to shake up everything. For instance, MJ is not this like foxy redhead. She's this weirdo in Zendaya. Like I know I know a lot of our friends, like they go nuts over Zendaya, but I'm like, she's not bad. Like I don't hate her. She's great in her role, but I'm like, I don't go nuts over her.
I mean, to be fair, I think from memory, most people like talk about Euphoria when they're talking about like great performances from her.
I mean, true, that show is definitely a lot heavier, so... But I do think that, yeah, MJ in this film, not like the foxy redhead. She's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
What's the actual character that he falls in love with? What's her name?
Meg? No, it's not Meg, is it? Wait,
It's not Meg.
no. What? I feel like it's Wait, Liz.
Liz. I mean, yeah, she's okay. She does what she needs to do.
Yeah, she doesn't really stick around that long.
Flash Thompson, very different kind of bully.
Yeah, very different.
He's a mathlete.
I don't really mind that though. It's
No,
like,
I don't either, because I'm like, it's different.
yeah, different from stereotypical jock bully, which isn't even like a cliche. Like, it would still be a cliche even if Spider-Man didn't do it.
Yeah, it's a cliche in general. So I think for him to be, he's still a bully in an ass, but he's a mathlete as well.
It is also kind of neat that Peter gets a friend for once, who isn't also the love interest. Although
I was talking, yeah, Ned. Well, I mean, Harry Osborn is usually his friend.
True. Although, the Sam Raimi movies, it seems as though, like, Harry kind of always wants to kill Peter.
I mean, I too am something of a scientist myself.
Yeah. I mean, look, you kill a father like that, it's not easy to get
Okay,
over.
Spider-Man, the original, the first one, it's a comedy. I'm convinced. It's so funny.
It's a straight up comedy.
Think about this. Green Goblin flies in, he throws a grenade at people, instantly turns them to skeletons. How is that not hilarious? But about
Just
Far From
Green
Home.
Goblin in general is just like, Rah!
Far From Home has one of the best villains.
Yes.
I think the villains have been getting better.
I think Phase 3 is definitely the point where they start getting, like, consistently good.
Yeah.
Vulture's one of the best.
Yeah, Vulture, great villain. He's not even like that bad, because he's not like a bad. Well, he's a bad person, but he's not doing it for like really weird. Like, I want to conquer the world, or I want to make tons of cash. He's like, yo, I'm out of it. I need to make money for my family.
And it's like, he kind of hates superheroes, because in a lot of ways, superheroes kind of took away his normal job. Also, I just realized actually, both of the Spider-Man movies have been people who had vendettas against Stark.
Yes.
Like, Vulture, it's like he loses his job because of Stark.
Yeah, Stark. Yeah, because in the flashback they show that Stark created damage control.
Yeah.
Which is well, they control the damage, of course. It's kind of their job.
Yeah.
And then in Far From Home, he took a lot of the tech, like not the drones, the hologram tech.
Oh, the only thing I remembered was like he was offended by the fact that he called the tech Bath.
Oh
and
yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's just like, Nani?
Bruh, I worked all my life on that. Yeah. Anyway, but I think Spider-Man: Homecoming is an S tier film.
It is. You know, I think, like, I remember we were watching it, and it was like, I feel as though there was a point where it was like I'd pointed out, it's like, you know, it's stuff like this that makes Spider-Man one of my favorite superheroes, because it's like, there's a bit where it's like he's gotten invited to like, you know, just hang out in a pool with like his friends and the girl he has a crush on, but he decides against that in order to be a hero. It's like, it's
Yeah, no, that is that scene when he hears about the gun deal going down close by.
It's like he really doesn't want to go, because it's like, you know, when am I ever going to get an opportunity like this again? But he's like, no, it's the right thing to do.
True. So yeah, who's next on the chopping block?
Very good. Next on the chopping block is Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, also top of amazing tier for me.
Yeah, I put it like the only amazing tier that's higher than this is Avengers.
No, for me, no, it's better than Avengers.
Ooh, okay.
It is funnier. It's funny. It introduces a lot of weird things and sticks with it. It actually develops Thor into a likable character.
You can say that it's like, I know a lot of people would probably say that it's like the funniest Marvel movie.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I'd have to rewatch all of them, but I think it would be the funniest. I think the only thing that would come close would be the Guardians films.
Yeah, same. I know that it was very enjoyable for Chris because, well, Chris Hemsworth. There's so many Chris's.
Yeah, I know. Chris Pratt, Evans, Hemsworth, me.
Yep. Oh, so many Chris's. Well, you're in good company anyway. Yeah, it's good for. I know that Chris Hemsworth had a good time because he didn't have to wear that wig.
Yeah, he had to. Yeah, he had the short hair.
Yeah, apparently he hated that wig
Fair enough.
because that. But he wore it anyway because that's what heroes do.
Exactly. It introduces Valkyrie.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm annoyed about with her is that they didn't give her a name. She's just Valkyrie. She's
yeah.
not. She's not a named Valkyrie that is in the Norse lore, or they didn't make up a name for her. She's just Valkyrie.
Yeah, I don't know if they've given. Well, I mean, they wouldn't have given her one in the movies because we only see her again in End Game. But yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, because like Valkyrie is like a type of warrior. Like it's the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
That's like calling you U.S. soldier. It's like, cool. What's your name? My name's U.S. soldier. Really?
But wait a second. Did Marvel not do that as well?
No, U.S. agent. That's a character.
I mean,
he has a real name though.
I mean, okay. Like, I feel as though Valkyrie would have to have a real name as well, but like, we just don't know what it is. For whatever reason, I want to say Brunhilde, but I don't know.
I don't think she may be based on the comics. I think she's just a Valkyrie. She's not like a main Valkyrie or even a named one. She was just in the army. She's just part of the Valkyrie. She's the last one.
Yeah, she is. Hela is, I would say, a very good villain as well.
Yes.
Not necessarily like Vulture level, but
very
still
good.
quite good. Yeah.
And then there's the Executioner with Behold My Stuff.
Oh, this is Des, and this is Troy, and together they destroy. And then the girls are just like, wow.
I'm surprised they didn't give him his axe.
As am I.
But they did give him dual wield M16, so like, that's something at least.
I mean, yeah, it's something. I feel as though like he has actually used that kind of loadout in the comics at some point.
He has. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that becomes his weapons later in the show.
Oh.
When he loses it, when Hulk takes his axe during the whole Asgard plotline.
I totally forgot about that.
So actually, he does use dual-wield machine guns, but it's just very weird for his first introduction. He's not given that. He just uses dual-wield machine guns. But whatever.
That's true. So many memes from Ragnarok.
Yes. Many great shots as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few good ones. What's a... Oh, Get Help, classic.
Then there's this like, I've never met this man in my entire life.
Loki!
Then there's the whole like, oh, he's a friend from work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then there's also the is he though?
Oh yeah, that whole face.
Yeah.
Thor throwing the ball at his face.
Oh yeah, because that's what heroes do.
Then there's the Korg with the revolution has begun.
Oh yeah, Korg, top tier character.
I love how Taika Waititi is always in his films somewhere.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I know he's not the only director to do that, but it's always fun.
Yeah, but most directors usually do like a small like they walk past the camera. Like I know in every Lord of the Rings film, Peter Jackson just is somewhere.
Oh, is he actually?
I think so. I know he's in 2 of them.
I know, apparently Alfred Hitchcock was sort of notorious for cameoing in his movies, and I know that M. Night Shyamalan has done that quite consistently.
Really? He did that in Avatar?
I don't know about Avatar, but I know in...
he knew which one not to cameo in?
I know in Indestructible, the one with Bruce Willis, it's like, there's a bit where it's like, Bruce is like frisking a guy, and that's actually M. Night.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Alright. So, top of A tier for me?
Yeah. High A tier for me. Yeah.
Alright, who's next?
Very good. Who is next? Black Panther.
Average.
Same. Like, very middle of average.
I mean...
This one is hands down the most overrated Marvel movie out of all of them.
I get that it's a big milestone for Marvel because, you know, up until this point, all the characters are just white guys, and this is the first like black superhero to get his film.
Mm.
But still, like, it's like
I mean, I don't think that's good enough.
I don't. It's okay. Like it's a good film. It's very well shot. Like a lot of the imagery is really great, but like I don't know.
I know that the world building is all out of whack. I know that Killmonger is not actually as good of a villain when you really think about it. Because it's like, he's basically like, you know, like he had to go through a lot of like hardships in his life, like just growing up in the time that he was in, as the type of person he was. And so he decides to kill everybody, including the explicit mention of children. It's like, I don't know how people can sympathize with him anymore.
Yeah, it's an average film. It's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I put it average. It just really annoys me when people say that this is like the best Marvel movie ever made. It's like, no.
No.
Like, it's not even in my top half.
Yeah, it's middle of my average. Like my average goes like Iron Man 3, Avengers 2, Black Panther, Strange, Ant-Man, Captain America. That's my average.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who is next? Infinity War.
Top of S tier.
Same.
Really, you're not putting End Game there.
Well, okay. See, here's the thing. All right. Endgame is like, it is such an experience. However, Infinity War, I would say, is the better film. Like, I guess from a more objective standpoint.
Yeah, Infinity War is the better film. Endgame has got great moments, but it is very much like an event thing.
Yeah, I think Infinity War in a lot of ways is kind of more consistently on a high level. Like, I think Endgame for me, it's like, it's, I don't know, it kind of ebbs and flows a little bit. Or I guess kind of more like dips occasionally. Whereas Infinity War is like just a constant streamline track of like very good stuff.
I do think Endgame has a few better moments, but like, yeah, Infinity War is overall great.
Yeah, Infinity War is such a good movie.
I don't even think we need to talk about how good this one is.
Like, let's just talk about Thanos. Like, he
perfectly
is
balanced. As all things should be.
He's such a good villain. It's like we've talked about this before, but like, I mean, we've talked about the difference in motivations between him in the movies and the comics, and it's like, it's like, I will say, like, I like Thanos' motivation in the comics, but the motive they gave him in the movies works better for movies.
Yeah, it does. But also, I like the little subtle things they do with him. Like, other than the opening scene, he is armorless the whole film. Which kind of puts him in a more... It makes him look more, like, non-aggressive.
It does,
because all the other characters are wearing their battle armor, or whatever, whatever's the same thing as that. But, like, Thanos is just wearing his clothes. And then when he appears at Endgame, he's wearing the armor again. Yeah,
it's like... That's what I know. A lot of people have said that, like, Thanos kind of, it's like they call Infinity War Thanos, like, I don't know, like philosopher Thanos, and then like Endgame Thanos is apparently called like warrior Thanos.
Yeah, because
I think matches their personalities quite a bit. Thanos is such a good villain.
Yeah,
there's so many good set pieces in this. I'd say, like, most hype moment in the entire movie is Thor coming to Wakanda.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, innocent, literal chills. Insane.
Oh, it was so... that music as well.
Yeah, it's an insane track. And then just the... Great man Thanos.
It's
such a good, like, film.
Yeah.
Alright. Next...
Top of S tier, Dave.
Next, top of S tier. I think next we have the two sort of duds of this phase.
So, okay, so first up is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I've put that in subpar. Haven't seen this film, but from what I've heard from you and another friend who also watched this film, apparently it's not that good.
Yeah, I put this like closer to the bottom of average tier. Honestly, the thing that I remember the best in this movie is the post-credit scene.
Yeah, where they use the time machine. Well, not really, but the quantum realm.
They go into the quantum realm, and it's like Scott can't get back because everyone else has been dusted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'd say Ghost is also a pretty good villain. I don't know, like, I mean, we get to see more of Giant Man, we get to see more interactions between Scott and his daughter, which is always very cute. He's got his most treasured possession, the world's greatest grandma trophy. Yeah, that's all quite cute. I think one of the characters in this movie like becomes a decently important character in WandaVision.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen WandaVision.
Oh, I thought you had seen like.
No, I know a lot of it, but I don't know everything. I know that the girl from Thor, the one with the black hair.
Oh, yeah.
She's in WandaVision.
Yeah, I think like her and this character from Ant-Man and the Wasp like kind of become almost like a buddy cop type of dynamic.
I will have to watch one. I want to watch WandaVision, but I will see. All right.
Yeah.
Next film,
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, bottom subpar. Captain
Marvel's
Marvel's the worst part of her own film. She's just boring.
Absolute bottom movie ever.
Sam Jackson, like when you're acting against someone like Sam Jackson, like you can't be boring. Brie Larson's actually a great actress. She's done good stuff. But I think she's even won an Oscar.
She has. It was from a movie that was called Room, not The Room.
I know. Nobody should win an Oscar for that film. But anyway,
no, it's really funny. It's like you got The Room, which is considered to be one of the best worst movies of all time, and then you've got Room, which is apparently like amazing.
Yeah, but like she's good at what she does. It's just that this film, I don't know what happened, because like the same people who wrote her dialogue also wrote Sam Jackson's dialogue and the Skrulls dialogue, who's they're both quite funny.
I mean, yeah, I will say probably my favorite part in the movie is just seeing Nick Fury be Nick Fury. But then they have him get his eye scratched out with a cat!
Well, it's like it's a cat.
It's basically a cat. Like, yes, it's like a Lovecraftian monster in reality, but it's like, really, it was like, it got scratched out by a cat paw.
Wait, you lost your eye to a cat? Always did, motherfucker. Oh, I didn't mention this in the first episode. Oh my gosh, I hate
that so much.
I didn't mention this in the first episode, but I do. One of my favorite lines of Nick Fury is, "I understand the council's made a decision, but since it's a stupid decision, I've elected to ignore it."
Oh, that's so good. You know what? Actually, now that you say it, that would work in Star Wars as well.
I think I've seen a meme like that where Sam Jackson playing Mace Windu is like, he's telling like. He's like, you're on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. And then Anakin, and then they do Sam Jackson as Anakin, like they Photoshop it, and then they do Nick Fury going, I understand the council's made a decision, but since it's a stupid decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Oh my gosh. Mace, please have mercy. I know that he kills you later on, but like...
Take a seat, Master Fury. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
This film's...
Yeah, no, I will say, like, yeah, like, just Nick Fury, like, being, like, a spy. Like, I think my favorite part in the movie was, like, they're in a room, and Fury, like, breaks out by, like, using, like, this trick involving tape that like.
Oh yeah, I've seen that used a few times.
Yeah, that's just really cool. But then it's like he goes to do that trick again later on, and Captain Marvel just blasts the door open, and it's like, okay, then why didn't you just do that beforehand? Okay, what the reason why like this is, in my opinion, the worst Marvel movie, is because it's like the thing is, it also bored me alongside Dark World, but at least with Dark World, it was like the dynamic between Thor and Loki was like quite interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's always entertaining to watch those two.
Yeah, and at least it was like it was self-contained enough that it didn't like seep its way into like other like the overall universe. But it's like because Captain Marvel is like canonically the second movie that happens in this universe, they end up retconning a bunch of stuff that makes the overall universe worse in it, like in its entirety. One example is Fury getting his eye scratched out with a cat, and so then
the second
Winter
is
Soldier,
like,
it's
why
like
not
last time I
activate the
trusted
tape?
someone, I lost an eye, and it's like you got it scratched out by a cat.
Yeah, and then there's the whole idea that he had the pager the whole time, and during both Sokovia and the first film, he's like, nah fam, I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah, it's like he had this pager that apparently is able to like summon this like uber powerful individual, especially by the standards of like early MCU.
Yeah, the only person that holds a candle is Thor, early MCU.
Exactly.
Like, Hulk is the strongest Avenger, but the thing is, Hulk can't fly, and like he has no range essentially.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time when people are like, who would win in a fight between Thor and Hulk? Most of the time people say Thor just because he has more versatility.
Yeah, he has like flight, he has ranged attacks.
Like, he can control the weather.
Yeah, Hulk is the stronger fighter. Like, he's bigger, he's got more strength, and of course, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So theoretically, if you're talking about brute strength, yeah, Hulk would win. But the thing is, Thor has more versatility. He can do more.
Granted, usually it's very much like, I think Stan Lee actually weighed in on that discussion, and he was basically just like really, the guy who wins is the guy that the writer likes more.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with any of these things, is like whoever wins, whoever's more powerful is whoever the writer likes.
Yeah,
it's like very similar if you look at into the Harry Potter movies. Hermione gets a lot more because the writer loves Hermione.
Yeah, it's like, but I guess it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like let's look at like DC for example. It's like, I'm sure there would be circumstances that you could write where someone like Harley Quinn or Robin is able to beat Superman in a fight, but
yeah,
like more often than not, Superman should pulverize those characters.
You should pulverize everybody. But back to the tier list. Yeah,
Captain Marvel. Back to the tier list. Another problem is just the fact that apparently the Tesseract had like gone missing for like, I don't know, like what, 20 years or something like that, and apparently nobody knew or acknowledged it at all.
The Tesseract, one of the most like most random devices that Bruce Banner was able to locate through wizardry, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, at least with Doctor Strange, it makes sense why the magicians have never interacted. Like, they're secret.
Yeah, they're secret, and it's like, it seems as though they can like have fights like in other realms that don't affect the physical world at all. Which brings me to another problem. I don't know, you might not remember, but it's like there's a bit in the Avengers where it's like, you know, Bruce confronts Fury and he's like, you know, why is S.H.I.E.L.D. doing this stuff? And
they're
then
making
Fury's
weapons with
like,
the Tesseract.
Yeah, and Fury is like, basically because of Thor. It's like, essentially, as soon as he found out that Thor and Loki existed, he's like, not only are we not alone, but we're also hopelessly, hilariously outgunned.
Yeah,
it's like, but wait a
if
second.
Captain Marvel comes first, it's like, yeah, like she is much more strong. She's a lot stronger than everything else you've faced currently. She's probably like she's insane.
Not to mention that he participated in a war between two different alien races that almost wiped out all life on Earth. I don't know. What, did Fury forget about that?
Yeah, it's a very. I don't get why they just didn't make Captain Marvel more of a recent set more recently. Like it's not even like the time period lended anything to the story.
No, I think
they could have said it during the Civil War era, like the part where like before End Game, before Infinity War, but like right after Civil War.
Yeah, isn't that? Oh yeah, actually no, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They could have said it like it's like where Black Widow's film set.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Like
so
they could have said it during that time where like most of the Avengers aren't doing anything, or like are on the run. So hence why maybe Fury's looking for more of them, and then he finds Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
You can still do the whole pager thing where she's like, she's like, do you want me to stay around? Like, most of the Avengers aren't around, and he can be like, no, you can go do your own thing. Like, world's calm right now.
Yeah, like, yeah, Captain Marvel herself is definitely one of the weakest parts of this movie.
Right. That's
Alright,
Captain Marvel.
so that's Captain Marvel. Next up, Avengers End Game.
Yeah, S tier. Obvious S tier.
S tier for me as well. Like, this one's actually my favorite Marvel movie in general. I wouldn't say it's the best though. I
think this is like similar to Rogue One, where if most people agree that the third act is amazing, you know, the whole fight scenes.
The third act is like.
But it's the first two acts where people might be like, it's a bit weak.
I mean, look, for me, it's like the first act I actually still really liked because it was like, you just got to see how everyone was reacting to everything. However, I will say, Hulk dabbing and Fortnite in the movie was cringe.
Oh, god damn it.
Far out, like, see, the thing is, if they didn't have him say dab, they could have gotten away with him doing that. Because he doesn't actually dab, he does like the Usain Bolt pose. But they have him say dab, and it's like, oh, far out, he dabbed, or tried to dab. Ugh.
Oh god.
And then the second act is
Noob Crusher. Like, Noob Master, sorry.
Noob Master. Yeah. Again, they didn't need to cut to Fortnite. Like, you could have just had Korg playing like just any general game. And it's like, okay, that could be fine. But it's Fortnite. It's like far out. Like, Fortnite is already. It was already considered dated even when the movie came out.
2019. Raw. I mean, I think we said a lot of the stuff we said about this film. We also mentioned in Infinity War.
But yeah, that third act. Oh my gosh, there is so many good moments. Most of them coming from Act 3, but like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cap lifting Mjolnir, the portal scene, I am Iron Man.
Oh yes.
What else? I know that I Am Inevitable is pretty good. I mean, it precedes I Am Iron Man, but I Am Inevitable is still a pretty good moment.
Yeah.
That whole fight scene between the main trio and Thanos, he just literally wipes the floor with them.
Thor's I actually quite liked Thor in this one. It's like okay, him being fat is definitely something that you have to get used to, but it's like there's so many good here's the thing, actually. The thing that's good about the second act of Endgame is that you get so many good character moments in it. Like, you get Tony getting to reconcile with his dad. You get to see Steve meeting up or seeing Carter again for after so long. You get to see Thor speaking with his mum one last time and discovering that he's still worthy. It's like there are so many good moments.
I just love the meme where it's like, I saw a meme right after that film, which was like, when you haven't played Minecraft in a long time, but you remember all the crafting recipes, I'm still worthy. I'm like, why does that feel so weird? But like, I get it.
Oh boy.
Wait, what's this?
There was something else. Oh yeah, something that.
Oh crap.
Oh, what's up?
I'm just reading about how Australian post deliveries are been suspended, and I'm still waiting on something.
Oh no.
It was supposed to come like at latest Tuesday, and I got an email this afternoon telling me it's not coming.
Oh.
They said call us in 6 days. If it hasn't come by this date, call us and we'll see what's going on. Mum mentioned the strike, and I'm like, that's not true. I hear that truck drivers are going on strike. And then I saw that article, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, I didn't even realize they were going on strike. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, what I was saying.
This episode's just been dated.
Yeah. Oh no. Now it won't be remembered throughout the ages. Oh dear. Yeah, what I was gonna say before was like, oh, actually, you know what? We mentioned dabbing in Fortnite beforehand, so yeah, it was already dated. But yeah, in any case, I saw a video where someone had pointed out that's like, Thor like changes quite a bit between like the end of End Game and like the end of Infinity War. It's like, when the Avengers Tower or the Avengers Mansion gets like razed to the ground when Thanos arrives, Thor is like the first one to recover out of all of them, because it's like by the time Cap and Tony are able to like get back up, Thor is already up and is just watching Thanos. And it's like if this was Infinity War Thor, he would have immediately attacked Thanos like as soon as he saw him. But it's like here, it's like he actually like stops and waits.
He's just standing there menacingly.
Also, very hype moment when Thor channels lightning and brings Stormbreaker and Mjolnir at once.
Yeah.
That's sick. Also,
it also looks really awkward when he holds both, because like one's this like massive battle axe and the other's this like tiny hammer. It's kind of weird.
No, but that's how it would have been if you wanted to dual wield swords or something like that. You would have like one shorter sword, because it's like if you have two long ones, they kind of just like get in each other's way a lot of the time.
I'd say more like the longer the sword is, then it becomes double-handed, and that means you need both hands. You can't dual wield.
Well, that's true.
Anyway,
but also, another interesting little neat pick is like, obviously, you know, the whole you should have gone for the head thing.
Yeah.
In the battle between like the big three and Thanos, someone noticed that like Thor almost exclusively goes for the head in that fight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Exclusively, he's like, I'm killing you.
Yeah. Let's kill him properly this time.
I mean, true.
Yeah, and then like that final bit where it's like Steve like goes back in time and lives life. It's like, yes, definitely screwed with the timeline quite a bit, which I think they were actually very like careful about making sure that that didn't happen by like avoiding a paradox from happening, and then that happens. But like, it's still very well
okay
done.
But does that mean that the niece that Steve dates in Captain America the Winter Soldier, who looks like he's gonna date, does that mean he's technically related to her?
Quite possibly. However, he was not aware of this. Here we have quite the Oedipus instance where it's like, hold on, you mean to tell me that I was trying to finesse my mother? Oh me, oh my, I am gonna gouge out my eye.
Anyway, so the last film on this list.
Yes, Spiderman Far From Home, yeah.
It's in A for me, but below Ragnarok. Because the main reason why is because this film heavily depends on End Game.
It really does.
Like, not Far From Home, Homecoming relies on itself.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you don't need to watch Civil War because even Peter recaps you on a lot of what happened.
Yeah, and none of it's really that essential to the story. I guess you could say, like, the villain wouldn't exist if it weren't for the events of Avengers, but still.
They go over all that backstory in the film.
Yeah, in this one, it's very much like, have you not seen Endgame? Well, too bad, we've spoiled it for you.
Yeah, Stark is dead. Mysterio is still, I think, one of the best villains.
Okay, to be honest,
we get a lot of time. We get a lot of time with him.
Also, I reckon Jake Gyllenhaal is a very charismatic actor. I will be honest, Far From Home is the one that I'm the least familiar with. That very well could be that I've seen it the least amount of times.
I think he's one of the better villains though, because he hates Stark, and he's got the brains to make all this work.
Yeah.
And his main goal is to be a superhero, sort of be the next Iron Man. Because I think for him, he'll be like a very rich irony. You know, Stark stole all of his tech, named it dumb things, didn't get any credit. Stark's dead now, and now he is taking Stark's place.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I do remember Mysterio being quite a good villain.
Yeah, he's very good. At one point, I thought they weren't going to make him a villain.
Same!
Because in the comics, he is like what he is in the film. But like, I thought they were actually going to do one of the Marvel things, because they did it with Captain Marvel, where the Skrulls were the heroes, Kree are the bad guys. I thought they were going to do that in Far From Home, where Mysterio is actually someone from a different dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were gonna have him, but then I guess, I think eventually I was kind of just like, you know, like, if not him, who is the villain gonna be? Hydro Man? Nah.
I mean, it's just generally the Elementals. It'd be a pretty boring villain if that was the case. Like, Mysterio being the villain made the film so much better.
Yeah,
but I thought that I actually did consider that Mysterio wasn't going to be the villain for once.
Yeah, I did as well. Also, I actually very much like how they develop Peter and MJ's relationship.
True. I love the whole when he tells her, "I'm Spider-Man," and she's like, "You serious? This isn't a joke? Because I'm only like 67% on that." Like, she wasn't even 100% sure. She just guessed.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just really like that bit where it's like, I think it's like they're in a theater or something like that, and MJ is just very awkwardly just like, "Oh, do you wanna sit next to me?" It's like,
yeah, that's what I
relatable.
That's what I like about this MJ. Like, she's not MJ as most know her, but like, she's still a good interpretation. She's still well written and like well acted.
Well, see, the thing is, it's like, she's not Mary Jane. It's like, isn't her real name like Michelle Jones or something like that?
Yeah, close enough. You call the character MJ, everyone's gonna think Mary Jane. It doesn't even matter what the real character's name is.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, Michelle Jones.
I think in doing that, it's like they're very much like, this is not Mary Jane.
But they did it in a way where they can still call her MJ.
Yeah, it's like, wait, so is this Mary Jane? And it's like, well, yes, but actually no.
That's why they're like, I think No Way Home they could do some, if they're going with the multiverse like mess ups in this film, they could introduce like a proper Mary Jane for one film and then instantly retcon her.
But then who would be that redhead?
I don't know. You'd have to look at the cast list and see what they're doing. I don't think they're going to do that. I think the villains in No Way Home are going to be some other reason why they exist.
Yeah.
I doubt the villains are existing from other universes. If anything, I think this is just like a, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Because this could be Marvel just doing some clever like trailer editing for us.
It could be, yeah. Wait, which was the first trailer that you noticed that they were doing that in?
Wasn't it Infinity War?
Okay, that was the first one for you too, okay.
Because I know, no, Ragnarok came before, so it happened in Ragnarok, but I didn't watch the trailers. I didn't watch the trailers, or if I did, I didn't watch the film when it came out, so I had no idea that they changed anything.
Wait, what did they do in Ragnarok?
Thor appears with 2 eyes with lightning bolts in one of the trailers, but it turns out he actually lost his eye in one of them.
Oh, okay.
Like that scene happens at the end where he should have already lost an eye, but they edited that.
Oh, I see, I see.
I noticed it in Infinity War because I thought, because at the
Hmm.
end when Thanos is pushing down Cap and he looks kind of curious, he's like, "Huh, this guy's actually quite strong. He's pushing back." He only had
Hmm.
space and power. He didn't have the
Oh,
others.
yeah.
So I thought Infinity War was going to be him getting the stones, and then End Game was him getting the rest of them. You know,
Yeah, I was thinking
before-
a similar thing.
because I thought it would be like a 2-part story where the snap doesn't happen. I mean, it's an iconic moment, but like I thought it would happen. I mean, that could have been an interesting story where like Endgame ends with the heroes losing. Like Infinity War, they win. Endgame, they lose, and then there's a whole phase of just heroes who just deal with the fact that the Avengers are just gone.
Actually, that would be an interesting.
And then you could do Avengers 5 where they some of them actually band together and they're like, yo, let's actually fix this.
Yo, let's straight up have a good time for once.
Yeah. But I think that's all the DC, not the DC, the Marvel
DC.
films. Getting too
Yeah,
ahead of myself.
that is the
All the
end
Marvel
of Phase 3. Then after that, it's like, it says Black Widow, and then Shang-Chi, which, wait. Oh, wait, what? Okay, apparently Shang-Chi's coming out tomorrow in America.
Oh. Well, once again, this episode is dated.
I mean, yeah. You've heard it here first, guys. The day after this was recorded, Shang-Chi came out in America. Woo! Well, anyway, so, yeah. Wait, so, I think I'd said it, but I don't think you had. Which one, if you were to pick, like, a best and worst MCU movie?
I think I'd go Thor Dark World as the worst.
Fair.
I think I'd go the best. I'd still go Infinity War.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Very, very fair. Okay, well, yeah, that was the end of Phase 3. Thank you all for coming and listening to this 3-parter, assuming you did listen to the entire 3-parter. I guess we shall find out eventually. Thank you very much for coming on, Chris.
No worries. Glad to be here.
Yeah, had a great time hanging out and chatting and that. It definitely does change like the dynamic quite a bit when you have someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's no longer a crazy man. It's now 2 crazy people talk about things that no one cares.
Exactly. I'm still trying to work out how exactly to word the titles for these, but I feel like it's got to involve 2 crazy men somehow. But yeah, in any case, I'd say I will almost certainly have you on for some other episodes after these ones.
Star Wars tier list. That's probably the only other franchise which has enough films for it to be a decent episode length. Because you got the OT, the prequels, the sequels, and then you got the 2 spin-offs with Solo and Rogue One.
I feel
Because-
though our opinions on the Star Wars movies kind of line up more closely.
True.
Yeah, because
But still, it'd be interesting to talk about them.
it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll do that another time.
We shall do
See
that
you
another
later. Goodbye, everybody.
Yes, farewell everybody. Hope y'all end up doing well. And until the next episode, do you want to say it as well, Chris?
Oh, I was hoping you'd say have a good one, and then I'd quietly mutter dab like Hulk,
Okay.
because that's what heroes do.
That is in fact what heroes do. Well, okay. In that case, hope all you Marvel fans and all you loyal listeners have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody.
Dab.